The top, can you see the top bit, the black bit? The black bit, yeah. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel today. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Imogen and I am a second year student at the London School of Economics. Today I have a very special guest with us. This is actually my roommate Hannah. I thought we could do a little roommate Q&A, seeing as we've moved in together this week. And we're going to be living together for the whole year, so you're probably going to see quite a lot of her featuring in the vlogs. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, I'm Hannah and I'm studying BA Geography. And I'm in my second year with Emily.
Yeah, so we do the same course at LSE. And we'll tell you all about how we met and all that sort of thing, because I think that's coming up in the questions. So I asked her some questions over on my Instagram, so if you ever want to get involved in these videos or anything, and these question boxes, they're on my Instagram story, and I'll put my Instagram somewhere on the screen now. So the first question we've got is, how old are you, and do you notice the difference between your ages? So I'm turning 21 next week, very exciting, because I had a gap year and then came to university. And
I'm 19, and I'm born in like the middle of the year. It's like a year and a half.
Yeah, 0.5 age gap. But we don't really notice that there's a difference, I don't think.
No, I don't notice.
To be honest, we were talking about this the other day, because obviously we're now back in halls, or well, I don't know if I've made that clear, but we're back in halls, and we're with quite a few freshers. There's also a lot of second years here though, and we tend to notice the difference more between the uni years than we do between like actual ages.
I know, I think because of the differing like experiences with uni
that,
like first and second years have. A lot of the first years are my age, but you do notice the difference.
Yeah, and just like knowing what's going on with what we're supposed to be doing and things, like even though we haven't really lived on campus this year, we still kind of know our way around roughly, and we like know the way from our halls to there, and just little things like that you kind of notice. The most obvious question, I guess, for us to answer is, how did you first meet and how did you decide to live together?
So we met in freshers.
See, I don't remember this. One of the other questions is also, what were your first impressions of each other? I remember seeing Hannah on the steps, because basically we have to go and enroll. This is exactly the same every year at LSE. You have to go down to campus, show your passport, and then they like officially make you a student. And we were sat on the steps outside of that because it was the time for geography. And you were with another girl from our course who you'd met probably like 3 days before in accommodation, and they just looked like best of friends already. And I was like, oh, she looks quite scary, like she looks so settled. So that's all I really remember from freshers, but you have different memories.
Yeah, because we actually, I don't know if it was the same day.
And we ended up going for pizza at Franco Manca. And apparently I was sat opposite Hannah at the table, and we literally chatted the whole time, but I have no recollection of this whatsoever. So apparently we had a whole meal together. After that, we didn't really get to know each other.
No, because I was in different halls.
And then when I filmed my room tours video, Hannah was actually in a different halls last year, and I was like, would you mind filming your room for me? Which was kind of weird, because I was just asking this random girl on my course, who was like vaguely a friend of mine, and she was like, yeah, absolutely. So she did that for me, and then we still didn't really talk. We had like mutual friends, didn't we?
Friends. Also, the geography department is like quite small department.
Yeah. We ended up on a call together, basically talking about like, I think some of the work and the reading we had to do, and like I kind of chatted a bit, and like Hannah was chatting a bit, and I thought, oh, she sounds kind of cool. So then I think I messaged you and was like, and we just got chatting, and then we FaceTimed a couple of times, and then it was fine. And then we went on our geography field trip. That was literally the third time we'd ever met in person, I think. Or no, the second time we'd ever met in person. With the first being freshers that I don't remember. And so we went for pizza beforehand, like got on so well. And then we shared a room at Juniper, which was our field trip. And I remember at the end, because we talked about sharing a room like vaguely, because you wanted to be in this halls and I wanted to be in this halls. At the end, I got a text from Hannah just as she'd left saying, do you want to share a room together? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Because I had really hoped that was the situation, but it's a bit like, you know, first dates where you watch at the end, and then after the people have been on a date, it's like, do you want to see each other again? It was a little bit like that. I didn't know if you were happy to share a room, and like neither of us were 100% on the idea before we went, but actually we got on really well and it worked really well. That was a very long-winded story.
Yeah, very long story, but yeah.
But that's how we
It is a commitment, sharing a room with someone.
Yeah. And then I went and stayed with Hannah in the summer, and that's literally, we've met in person 4 times before we shared a room. The next question is, do you like being in halls in second year, and are there many second year students in halls this year?
I think it's nice.
Yeah. It's a lot cheaper for us, isn't it?
I know,
that's why we've
it's like
chosen
half the price.
Yeah, if we've moved out.
And also, you do get a meal in the evening, which I think we will be thankful for. when
Yeah.
we're like drowning and reading.
Yeah, that's very true. And there are quite a few second year students in halls this year. I think there are more so like than there would be in a normal year. Because of the year that we had last year, a lot of people haven't found close enough friends that they want to live with. So particularly my corridor last year, about 30 to 40% of them are back in this exact halls, and then some of them are in other halls. Normally I think between 80 to 90% of second year students would be living out in flats, but it's probably more like 60 to 70% this year just because of last year.
Yeah.
Linked to that, the next question is, why did you want to share a room?
First things first, like, it is a lot cheaper.
How much do we pay? 150 per week?
Yeah.
But to be in this halls and have a single room would be £220 per week, which is a lot when you like add it up over the course of the year.
And you do like obviously get a bigger room, but it's like bigger per person in the room as well.
I mean, you'll see this. I'm filming a room tour hopefully this week, so that should be up soon. So you should see what our room looks like soon. The next one is, what annoys you the most about the other person? We were talking about this. It's kind of hard to say because we've not lived together for long enough to kind of know that.
I know. I feel like maybe in a few weeks
We'll let you know.
we'll have a good answer, but at the moment we're going strong.
Yeah, we don't really get annoyed. I think because we live quite individual, like we do things together, but we also live quite individual lives, so we just do our own thing.
I know, and I feel like we're like different to each other in a like good way.
Yeah.
But like we have got a lot of similarities.
Like I'm really, really loud and kind of like outgoing, whereas I'd say you're slightly more
I'm
reserved.
quieter.
But then we're also quite similar in like how we approach sharing a room. Like we do like going out occasionally, but we also like having a night in. So I think that works really well. Like we're similar people in some ways, but not in others. Because I think if we were both the same person, that'd be very, very boring.
I know, I feel like
And we'd
too
clash,
similar,
actually.
you clash.
Yeah. The next one is, what is your top thing that you brought to uni? Like, what is the one thing that you brought to uni that you're really pleased you brought with you? I think mine would be flip-flops, because although the showers here are cleaned every single day, you just never know quite what's been on those floors. And judging by the state of some of the carpets in the halls we're in, I'm quite pleased that I'm wearing socks or flip-flops at all times, and they're just so handy to like chuck on.
And yeah, I've got my Crocs, which are now a fashion item, and they come in quite handy. And also I've got like a water filter, because I don't want to sound weird, but London water, it's just not the same. It's not the same.
This is one of our differences.
So I like having my water filter.
Hannah's a Waitrose girl and I'm very much a Lidl girl. That's a major difference between the two of us. The next question is, how do you meet people if you live at private accommodation? I'm really missing the social life. So I guess private accommodation in terms of like flats and stuff.
Yeah.
We don't really have this issue because we live in halls. But I think the one thing that we're trying to do, particularly with staying in touch with like second year friends and third year friends, is go to all the events that are on offer.
Yeah, I say go to the events and like join societies.
Make an effort to go out, I think.
Like make an effort, because you can very easily isolate yourself.
Yeah.
Like it is just really what you make of it. Like,
and don't be afraid to go on your own, because lots of people will do that.
there's so many people who do things on their own.
Particularly at LSE, I found like people are very
They're quite
independent, maybe more so than other unis. There's a few similar questions. So one of them is plans after uni, what are you going to do with your degree, and what do you both plan to do after you finish studying at LSE? I've not asked you this question. I don't really know your answer.
Well, I can say for sure that it's not investment banking.
No.
It's not that. But something to do with either like sustainability or like humanitarian like response. Like I'd like to work for a charity.
Yeah, that'd be
I think
really
that'd
cool. Yeah, or work at Waitrose.
Or work at Waitrose. As a backup plan.
And I think I'll probably end up doing maybe something in education. Like I've worked in schools, which I've talked about on my channel before, over the past couple of years, and I've really, really enjoyed that. So I'll probably end up working with children, young people, schools. Who knows what we'll end up doing? You can follow along and see. Be very stressed about our dissertations next year, I imagine, and then we'll go on and do something completely different. The next question is slightly niche. Are there any possibilities to see you one day in Algeria?
There are actually possibilities.
If you're going to pay for our ticket, we'll come to Algeria.
We may have cheaper accommodation this year, but we
still can't afford Algeria. Where would you, in all seriousness, where would you like to go if you could go anywhere in the world and it was paid for? What would you pick?
New York.
New York? Have you been?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's literally my favourite place.
No way.
I'd love to go to NYU.
I think I'd pick Antarctica because I want to go to all 7 continents, and that's the hardest one to get to. So and it's also really expensive. So that would be the best one for me, I think. Okay, and the next question is, how do your morning routines compare?
Amy gets up earlier than me.
Yeah, I wake up really early. So I wake up at like 7:30, 8 every day. But the way that we do it is, so I ask Hannah just before we go to bed, what time can I wake you up in the morning? And then before that, I just have to be quiet, basically. And then the next question is, how much time do you have apart? So we're doing all the same modules apart from one next year. So we are going to have a lot of stuff the same. And actually we both wanted to join Netball Society, or we wanted to join a sports society, and netball's quite a chilled one. But we did then think, if we do that, we're going to spend every waking hour of every waking day together, and that's going to be too much, I think, for both of us. So you're joining netball, potentially, and I'm going to join swimming instead. So we will do different things, and like I have a separate volunteering thing to you, so I have other meetings, and I meet up with people for coffee and don't necessarily take you with me. Yeah, we do spend time apart, but we do spend quite a lot of time together as well. The next question is, do you have any rules in your room? Where do we start? We don't have any written down rules, but we did talk, before we shared a room, we were like, okay, what do you want from this?
The main is I say what time I go to bed.
I always say no later than 11, which was the same rule in my last room, but that was more problematic because we had such different routines, me and my old roommates. But we're quite similar in that respect, like we don't mind going to bed relatively early. Yeah, and like when I say go to bed, like as in Hannah will probably still be on her phone later than when I've gone to sleep. But as long as I can have the lights off, I'm happy. And what other rules do we have? No bringing boys back.
We don't really have many rules.
No, it's quite chilled out, to be honest. The next question is, how have you found freshers?
I've enjoyed it, but I feel like I'm a bit of granny now. Like,
yeah.
My ability to go out every night, it's not there.
Our freshers this year has been very different from our freshers last year.
Yeah, it's not. I feel like we need to like experience an actual freshers because we did miss out on that.
Yeah, but it's a bit different. I think I preferred last year's freshers.
Yeah, you got a lot closer, like
with a smaller group.
Yeah, you didn't meet as many people, but you did get close with them.
That's because of COVID, so you were only really allowed to mix with the people in your corridor or like in your flat, and so you ended up like getting to know 30 people really well, as opposed to now we've met like hundreds of people over the last few days, and like you kind of get to know what course they're doing, what their name is, and not much more.
I would have enjoyed this first freshers more if I was a fresher.
Yeah.
Because it would be new and exciting, but it's like...
We know what's coming next week, yeah. And I feel like we need to see what it was like.
Yeah, you've got to experience freshers.
Got to do it once, even if you are a second year.
I know, you're not technically freshers.
And the final question, which is a really nice one to end on, is what do you like the most about each other? What are your favourite things about each other?
I like your confidence. Oh. I think it's quite nice. Also, you motivate me to do stuff. Like the other morning, Amy got up and was like, right, going on a run.
Bearing in mind, we'd been out the night before and we got in at 3 in the morning, and at 8 AM I was like, I'm going on a run, Hannah, do you want to come? And Hannah was like, yeah, okay.
I know I would have never gone on a run if you weren't going on a run.
But we felt good.
And I felt better for doing that.
Yeah. I like how funny Hannah is. Like, she'll just come out with the weirdest things sometimes.
Yeah, I do say some random
Like, what was it earlier? Oh, so I just got off the phone with my mum, and Hannah goes, you know you can get married to a swimming pool. I was like, Hannah, where did this come from? And then she proceeded to tell me about how she's going to marry Waitrose. Because if you can marry a swimming pool, you can marry Waitrose.
You could probably marry a shop.
But like, you know, you'll be having like a really rubbish day. Like, I didn't have a great day today. This morning I was feeling really like just rubbish. And Hannah came out with the funniest thing. And you just can't be sad when you listen to you say...
You can marry a swimming pool. There's no reason
you
to
can't
be
sad when you've got someone telling you can marry a swimming pool. No, but you do. You just are quite funny. And like...
I do say some random things.
You say some random things, but it's always at the right time. But like, you also sense the vibe, and you're there for me when I need it, you know?
Aww.
Yeah.
Aww.
But yeah, I can just have a laugh with you, and yeah, it's really funny. I think that is everything for this video. I really hope that you have enjoyed it and that you've enjoyed getting to know Hannah and maybe me a bit better as well. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. Thumbs up, yeah. Subscribe to the channel down below. And with that, we will see you next time with a new video. Bye.